What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Josh V, this is KSN, and today I wanted to point out and start a conversation about details within the E3 gameplay trailer that NWI and Focus Interactive released for Insurgency Sandstorm. So in this video, I'm not going to just play the gameplay trailer outright. I'm sure everyone has seen it by now, and if not, I highly recommend you go watch it first and then come back to my video. Okay, now let's get right into this. At the beginning, we already see the return of the M14 EBR with the C79 scope, as well as a very nice looking perspective of the new map design and graphics being implemented into Sandstorm. Even in the distance, you can see the lighting effects on the building really adding to the detail. I believe the shotgun she's holding is the return of the M590.
Alright.
We get to see use of the vaulting system, and the weapon stays drawn in front of the player's view. Immediately, this means that we can still shoot from the hip while vaulting. That's a very huge feature. It means we can use the vaulting system even during intense pushes on enemy locations. Even if it's inaccurate, the hipfire in this game looks really great and useful. That's also going to help keep the pace up when maneuvering during intense action. You can see the use of a quick reload on what I assume to be the return of the AKM, compared to the shotgun that will very clearly take a long time to reload. That means quick reloads will allow us to push into enemies that are also reloading and catch them off guard. Notice in the scope he is wearing a red shirt and blue pants just before getting dunked on by the M14 EBR. So far, many of the characters have had different colored clothing. Here we see a new weapon that I assume to be a variant of the Uzi with a stock, and shows some of the suppression effects in the game. We have another AK variant and more suppression effects being shown. More vaulting being used, as well as a much clearer view of the foregrip attachment.
Just a second!
Now this pistol is a huge detail, as it has some form of desert camo. That means there's a huge possibility for weapon camo customization.
Down!
Okay, I'm pushing up.
Yeah, copy.
Something I really wanted to point out is that when they do the voice acting for the radio commentary, he takes his left hand away from the pistol. Not sure if this was coincidence, but it might mean that using your radio will trigger an animation of your character model reaching for his comms on his vest. Can see some of the nice details and level design here that really add to the overall immersion and help make the world feel more lived in. Shoutouts to the level design here. We see the return of the Mosin Nagant with, I assume, the 7x scope as well. I also want to point out that while he's being suppressed, you can actually see some of the bullets penetrate the walls of his building. This leads me to believe that high caliber weapons will be able to break through structures that would seem to be very thick. One of the bigger details to point out here is that not only are they leaning and shooting around cover, but they are what seems to be using a form of blind fire mechanic, as they are holding the weapon far out and away from the center of the screen. I really hope that's a feature, as it can make gunfights extremely intense. As he dives through the window, you can see the hilarity and awesomeness of the ragdoll physics, allowing him to actually fall out the window and smack his face perfectly on the ground.
Move!
The female character now has the Mosin, meaning we can swap weapons off fallen enemies, and see that sprinting through doorways triggers a nice animation, making the feedback of movement feel very fluid and organic. At 1 minute and 23 seconds, we get an extremely clear view of a techie. Nice black paint job, 4 seats, and a mounted machine gun on the back. Drivable vehicles are a very new feature to the series, and I'm extremely glad to see them. During the gunfight, we get to see the bullets break the glass and hit the truck, and like I mentioned earlier, we've seen players wearing darker clothing attire, but now we get a clear view of an enemy player wearing a very bright white tracksuit. Leaning is still in the game, and we get to see the first real ADS use of it here. The enemy in all white uses the sliding mechanic to get behind cover, showing that it's still in the series. New weapon in the series, the RPK, using a bipod attachment in a window. An extremely clear display of the bullet penetration being a very useful tactic for suppressing and eliminating enemies with raw firepower. Take note of the bullets hitting the objects such as the fan on the other side of the wood, giving more feedback and immersion. Holy crap, I can't wait to light up with an LMG in this game. One of my favorite roles to play.
I know! I fucking know!
Right now we get to see a new mechanic added to the game of being able to throw back enemy grenades, and we see a beautiful use of throwing back your grenade by taking it and throwing it at the player inside the building, absolutely destroying him with his own teammate's nade. They cut now to a new scene, and we can see that both players are wearing different color camos. The guy is also wearing a helmet, sunglasses, part of what I believe to be more customization for your in-game characters. Notice the backpack he is wearing. I believe that is actually an equipment item that allows your player to carry more ammo and grenades. We see the man die, the girl panic, and more of the sprinting through doorways animations. Our first taste of a breach and clear approach from the enemy. Notice all the door pieces getting blasted into the room. Even the door pieces seem to have real in-game physics. They end the trailer showing the same room. After the dust clears, the door pieces seem to stay in the world minus the smaller pieces, and you can see more of the map through the window. But holy crap guys, that was my first attempt at doing a breakdown video. I'm sure there's more I missed, but this was all the things that really stuck out to me in the gameplay trailer. I'm also not including any new information released from larger YouTubers' gameplays. I'm extremely curious about how the customization will be in the game. Will we be able to change our weapon camos? I really hope so. The more customization, the better. What features or mechanics in the game are you most excited about? I personally can't wait to start using an LMG to hold down choke points and send bullets downrange. As always, I've been your boy Josh V. This is KSN. Make sure to join our Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.